Okay, I started
Okay.
recording. Yeah, now you can ask
Yeah.
any of your queries, then we'll see.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. 1 minute. So while I'm creating this service master service external, while doing this external service management,
Hmm.
during the creation of PO, it's asking us about the account assignment. So it will be asking about the cost center
Yeah, yeah.
and the GL account.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I already created a cost center for that with the controlling area and all. But when I'm trying to assigning this cost center, it's showing that GL account cannot be used. Please correct.
Yeah, it would be the GL if we have two kinds of GL accounts, profit and loss GL accounts and expenses GL accounts. Okay. In real
Okay.
time, it will be taken care by FI consultant. Okay, he will provide you the list of GL accounts. Which GL account has to be assigned to what? For example, these are the list of GL accounts you need to assign to consumption accounts. Means GBP, VPR, VBO, such
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
things. And
Okay.
certain
Okay.
GL accounts he will give, you have to assign for BSX, and certain GL accounts he will give you to assign to GRIR clearing account WRX. Okay, but in
Yeah.
in IDES,
Yeah.
when you are doing this kind of any GL account you will use without having the proper knowledge, right? At that point of time,
Yeah. Yeah.
you may get that kind of errors. But if the GL account is having that expenses account and they are available in the proper details and everything, and even if it's a profit and loss account, whatever the respective account is proper, then you won't get that kind of error message. To MMFI is for material type, material number, material group,
Yeah.
okay, the transaction event keys, BSX and all those things. These are all MM parts, okay. Chart of accounts, valuation class, JL account, these are coming from the FA.
They will be giving us the valuation class on the GL accounts, and we will be assigning to the transaction keys and all.
Exactly.
Okay. Uh,
For purchase order release procedure, if you take the purchase order release procedure, we can assign only one class. Okay, we can have multiple release groups, but class will be only one. SAP has given only we can have one release class for a release procedure. We cannot have a multiple release classes. That's why you can create multiple release groups, but you should assign only one class. In IDA system, what will happen when you are practicing, if somebody has already created a class and he has assigned it, then either you should use the same class which is assigned by him, or else we need
yeah.
to delete
Okay.
it. There is no other option.
Delete it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you have to delete this line item, and or else you have to give the other class which is created by you. But you cannot give multiple classes in purchase order. Okay, for external purchasing documents you can have only one class, whether it is a contract or a purchase order, of all should be using only one class. When it comes to purchase requisition, we can have two classes, one is for item level, another one is for header level. But for purchasing, for external purchasing documents, you will have only external. That's why you should have only one class that can be assigned to multiple release groups. Okay, this can be assigned
Okay.
to different release groups you can create, but class should be same. When you are creating any characteristic, okay, in CT04, if you give the values here, what is the use of that? That values will be visible when you are maintaining in the strategies. Means when you are
Okay.
maintaining,
Here we can see different
yeah,
values.
exactly. If you give
Okay.
here, there you can just select it. If you don't give here, there you have to give manually. But generally the suggestion is we always have to maintain the values in characteristics. Then when you maintain the strategies, we just select which characteristic value you want. Okay.
Okay.
But to
Yeah.
allow system to give directly, we should keep this one. Okay. Certain clients, what will they do? They remove this one. Okay. Then what will happen
Okay.
in CL20N means when they maintain release strategies, you cannot give
Okay.
any new value, only you have to maintain here, then you have to select it. Then it's kind of a
Okay.
master data, that is kind of a transaction data. When you are maintaining that strategies, you have to click on F4. Once you click on F4, you will get the all the values, okay, which
Okay.
are maintained
Yeah.
here. Then we can select it. The best method is you have to maintain in CT04 and select in CL20M. in this, what this node is available in the purchasing. See, purchasing environment data, then define attributes for system messages. This define attributes for system messages will be available under inventory management, under master data, everywhere it will be available. Okay. See, whatever activity you are doing, for example, purchasing organization, company code are not relevant, or price you are giving is not relevant, or else if you are giving some plant which is not relevant to the company code, for every activity system will have a messages. Okay. Here we can control whether it is error message or a warning message. Error message means it's see, if you give error message, it will give in a red color, and you cannot save the document. But if it is a warning message, you will get yellow color, but you can proceed the transaction, and also you can complete the transaction. Whatever the messages you are getting when you create a material or when you create a purchase order, here in this case it is a purchase order, purchase requisition, all kind of purchasing documents. You can see few things. Info record for vendor and material does not exist. Okay. See, for example, when you create consignment PO, for example, at that time info record is mandatory, then you will get this error message. Okay. Or else if you maintain a source list, then you made a source list fixed indicator. Okay. At that point of time, to make a source list with a fixed indicator, info record is mandatory. Okay, then this message will come. That kind of different kind of messages were written. That messages will be what you call populated by the system when you are doing the respective transaction. Here we can control which can be error message and which can be warning. So the very critical things we keep it as error message, and things which are not critical, which can be used as a what you call messages, then we keep it as a warning. This is a number range maintenance. Okay, now we are in the MMNR screen. If you get error message like no intervals are allowed, or intervals are already completed, such kind of any messages if you get, the overlapped one kind of thing, what you have to do is in real time these kind of things won't happen, because for each range we will give some 10 lakhs or 50 lakhs like that. Okay, but in IDES what will happen, some people may give a complete range, means 1 to that 900 billions or whatever it is, they will eat completely things. Then you have to come to status tab, and where it was completely eaten, means we completely utilized it. Okay, that current number you just change. For example, you can come here, and you can make it as a current number as a blank. Okay, for example, you can make current number as a 0, for example, like this. Then system can allow you to delete it. Okay, or else we can do the same thing, 2012,999. For example, you want to change and all, then we can change to some 600. Some range you have decreased it, right? Now you can come down. Now if you see this, 200 to 600 is there. But to change the intervals here, first of all you have to make current number as a 0. Okay, like that we need to adjust. In real time these kind of things won't happen. In IDES system only you get frequently, because the people who are working in the different people may, especially when you use the online SAP, then people will different people will work, right? They can maintain anywhere and anything like that. Because a stock transfer order with delivery and without delivery, the main benefits are like, for example, when you use with delivery, what will happen once we get the purchase order, in that purchase order we can from purchase order we will generate the outbound delivery, right? In outbound delivery we can do the batch determination. Okay, once the batch determination is completed, then we can do the goods issue from the same place. But when it comes to goods STO without delivery, then against PO only you have to do the goods issue. Then system doesn't, we cannot do that batch determination automatically, and also the batch which is given in the purchase order won't copy to goods receipt automatically. And main thing is GR without STO without delivery we use when it is having the same place. Okay, just they want a reference of the purchase order to transfer the materials, but they don't want that delivery, all those things. Okay, at that point of time, they will go with this without delivery, but maximum they will go with the delivery only. See how to create a cost element. Even as I told you, the cost element, cost center creation and all, in real time it will be taken care by CO consultant. If you see that FICO, right, finance and controlling, CO consultant will take care about the cost center creation and everything. Okay, uh, who is creating the cost center and whatever it is you are doing that. When you take this cost element, the cost element also will be created by the FICO consultants who is responsible for that activities and all. They will create which GL account can be created as a cost element. Okay, these things and all they will decide it. Now if you see this before creating the cost center and all, as I told you, controlling area which comes under the configuration. Means when you see this configuration SPRO in enterprise structure, under definition, okay, under controlling we will have a maintain controlling area. Okay, here we will create one company code as a one controlling area. Generally we follow the same method. That respect to FICO consultant will create which controlling area we are creating. Okay, for example, for your controlling area, here controlling area same as company code. What kind of accounting they want, right? Whether they want the cross company code accounting or the same company controlling area as a company code, what exactly the requirement, according to that they will create this activity. Okay, once the controlling area is created, here what are things we can control, what is the currency, okay, and what the financial variant. The financial variant will decide whether your financial year is January to December or April to March. Okay, that kind of, in India it is April to March, right? In US, UK, everything it is a January to December. Okay, these things and all we can decide it. This is a controlling area, and this controlling area has to be assigned to company code. These things and all we need to do in the configuration. See, if you go to the assignment, controlling area, see assign company code to controlling area. You have to assign your company code with your controlling area. GKCC is my controlling area. I need to assign to the company code, which is my company code. Okay, this is configuration. Coming to cost center, the cost center is a cost object which you are assigning when you are creating the purchase order for any consumption materials or any service kind of material, service activities. And also when you issue the goods to the cost center in 201 movement type in inventory management, and also we'll give this cost center. What is this? If you see this cost center creation, we can create any kind of things like JK. Test one, something from which date to which date it is valid, we need to give that. Okay, here we can see that controlling area is given what we have given here, and name we can create like test cost center, and responsible we can give who is the person. Here we will have a cost center categories. Okay, what kind of cost center it is it a production or administration, management, what kind of cost center category we need to give. And this hierarchy areas we need to create before that. What are the different hierarchies of that? Standard hierarchy. And if you click on F1 here, okay, we can see, we can come to know like what is hierarchy. As I told you, completely it's a CO structure, CO related activity. The controlling consultant will do this cost center grouping, hierarchies, everything he will create, and he will give you the list of cost centers according to the business requirement. And here we give our company code currency, which is our company code, the same currency we will mention here. And also if you have a profit center mapping in your company, then you have to assign the profit center also. Okay, remaining all controlling data. These are completely for IDES system. You have to perform a service procurement, and also you have to perform what you call goods issue for cost center and all. We need to create respective cost centers, but in real time the cost centers will be created by CO consultant as per the business requirement, not like something he can create on his own. Okay, these are the things we do that. And coming to cost element, cost element itself is GL account. Okay, each GL account we need to create as a cost element if the business is required the same thing. Okay, if they want to create GL as a cost element, then we need to create it. What is that? See, the items in chart of accounts that are relevant to cost, which are relevant to cost, those are referred as a cost elements. They are used for entering all costs within the entire cost accounting system. The cost elements are required to ensure comprehensive reporting and detailed planning. The GL accounts, which are they treat as a cost, okay, and that kind of things, once they decide as a cost element, then we need to create the GL account as a cost element. Even I can show you one more point here. See, when you take any GL account, here you can see an option called edit cost element. Okay.
Yeah.
If you create here, system will take to this. Whether if you want to create GL account as a cost element, we can create from there also.
Okay.
Once you click on edit cost element, system will take you to K01 transaction code. Here you need to give that one. What is a cost element category? Whether it is a revenue account, sales deduction account, or primary cost, what kind of cost. If you are treating the respective activity, means whenever the GL account hits to that respective thing, then what kind of cost it is, whether it's a revenue cost or sales deduction cost, what kind of cost they will assign, that FI people will assign that. It's completely like FICO. GL account is FI, cost element, cost center is GL, is a CO. It's like a completely interlinked. Here we can see the two kind of accounts, right? One is profit and loss statement account and balance sheet account. They'll decide like which is a profit and loss account or balance sheet account. Different accounts will be available. Which is the profit and loss statement account will be coming under, otherwise which is coming under the balance sheet account and all. We don't have to too much concentrate on that area, but at least we should understand what is GL, what is cost element, how does it work, these things. See here, account is a balance sheet account, means indicates that GL account is managed as a balance sheet account. We must enter all balance sheet account is in the field. Means balance sheet we have, right, every month end or year end. FI will see this all balance sheet account and all. There we can see like balance sheet. Okay. Then that FI consultant will decide whether we respect to GL account is a balance sheet account or P&L account. Account that we will check. He will give the type of account.
Yeah.
Simple meaning I will explain you. When do we use split valuation? Okay. Split valuation is a functionality which is given by SAP, and what you call but very rarely we use, whenever they want to use and all. I will give a business example just to understand, but complete configuration and all means it's a separate topic we need to discuss. For example, there is a material X. Okay, material X is you are procuring outside, procurement from outside, and here manufacturing. Okay, and also material Y is having two qualities, quality A, B and C, and another one is okay, the outside and the manufacturing. You are buying from outside and also you are buying from the manufacturing. And also material Z, you are getting the domestic and import, same material. Means material X, sometimes you are buying from other vendor and sometimes you are manufacturing in your company. Okay, but your manufacturing capacity is less. That's why sometimes whenever you need more quantity of the material, you have to go for buying from the other vendor. Then how do you handle the same material with two different kind of things? Then we have to use split valuation. In split valuation, we can keep two valuation types. One is in-house and another one is external. Okay, for in-house, you can keep the price, how much price it will be there when you're manufacturing in your company. And external, you can keep the different price, means different accounting views we can have for the same material. Okay, for external, for example, external it is 100 rupees and manufacturing 80 rupees. That can be done with by activating split valuation. Okay, and coming to quality, material, there is one material, you have a quality A, B, C. Quality A materials will be used for the certain kind of materials. B quality will be used for some dog biscuits manufacturing, any kind of some material they use. C they can use for some kind of what you call any kind of fertilizer preparation. I'm just giving an example. Three qualities are available, but first quality they will use for human kind of things, and B quality they will use for some kind of animals, C quality they will use for some fertilizers things, same material. Then quality A cost is 100 rupees, quality B is 60, quality C is 30 rupees. Means same material should have three accounting views. That also can be achieved with split valuation. Quality, origin, okay, these kind of different kind of types will be there. And coming to third category, third example, there is a material you can buy from India, any other vendor, and also you can buy sometimes from US or UK. Okay, but then when you're buying from India, the material cost is, for example, 500 rupees. When you're buying from import, it can be maybe some $10. Same material should be maintained with the two prices. Okay, at that point of time, we need to maintain the split valuation. It's a different kind of business purpose. We can activate the split valuation, and the split valuation is available under material management, valuation and account assignment. Then here split valuation. Okay, here even when you're doing the configure the split valuation, you will have a global types, categories and all. In types we can create different kind of things. See, the account category reference is there, right? That account category references will be useful during creation of this valuation types and all. These categories, we can have a different categories, valuation categories. See, as I told you, origin, okay, grade, A grade, B grade, C grade, origin, domestic, import, okay, and also any different kind of procurement, what kind of type you want to use it, where you want to prepare. And here you can see the in-house or external procurement. I told you, right, manufacturing or procurement, B, if you want to use that. Origin, domestic or import. Grade, there grade means you can say like A grade, B grade, what kind of grade of the material. These and all some configuration we need to do. The business example is the thing what I told you. These kind of scenarios we use split valuation.